How did you go about raising the funds? Because you talked about the fact that this cost a lot of millions and all of that. How did you go about raising the funds for it?
Actually, I have to actually speak to family friends to actually talk with them. The reason for us to be able to accomplish the project, and they are well aware about the president doings in the nation. So, and they also key into the project.
You also, said, if I understand you well, that you want the president to personally come and commission. Is that what you meant?
Yes, because this project, we want him to actually come to open the project, because in history of Federal Republic of Nigeria, this is the first of its kind. No president in history of Nigeria has ever been honored by the student and to be immortalized as the eagle of Nigeria politics. So this is the first of its kind, and we are using this to show our solidarity to him, that indeed we appreciate his effort and what he's going to do for Nigeria.
All right, and I believe you've reached out, work has started in this regard?
Work has started. We've actually wrote a letter to him. So when we are done with the project, we sent a letter, and when we are actually, when we also wish to open it, we also send a letter to him. But we are still expecting his response.
So in this regard, when you say we, the students and all of that, are you doing that, inviting him on behalf of the student union government, or on behalf of the LASESA that you had represented at a time, or on behalf of NANS, or in your own capacity as Adetimirin?
I am inviting him on behalf of millions of students he actually raised to be great people today. Because millions of them now, they are actually very okay for the great effort he has done. So I'm inviting him on behalf of his over 30 years effort for the student. So we humbly wish His Excellency, the President, actually acknowledge the first of its kind in history of this nation.
So this portrait that you have, or the bust that you have made, what material is that? Is that clay, or is that metal, or bronze, or what is it made of?
It's actually made of fiberglass.
Fiberglass?
Exactly, sir.
So speak to the decision to use this. Is this like, the way to go? Is this like the future? I'm talking about the kind of ingredients and the materials that you use to is it made to last more than the regular materials that one would use for a bust, or is this the basic material being used for all kinds of busts?
These materials we've used here is actually the most expensive materials to use. And these materials here will last for years. So because it's actually an immortalization. So as we have the Tinubu Square at TBS. So this project will be a center for students, because his achievement will actually be engraved beside the project. So this project will actually be stated as actually an historical one for students 30 years, 100 years to come to this time, to actually come around, to actually read about this great leader of ours. So it's actually a symbol for students to actually see the reasons we really need to actually key into the government of His Excellency Bola Tinubu, GCF.
All right, talk to us about how the school supported you through this entire period.
First is the distinguished Vice Chancellor, Professor Ebiyemi Olatunji Bello. She is actually a visionary Vice Chancellor. Without her approval, we wouldn't be able to actually do this project. So she was very much happy, because she wanted LASU to be the best in West Africa. And she's actually working towards that. So, and I'm sure we are really supported by the Vice Chancellor, because if the land is not approved, the students cannot do the project. So the space was actually approved, and where it was actually situated, it was situated in a strategic place in the university, that everybody that wants to enter the university will be a welcoming note. So Asiwaju will be a welcoming note to Lagos State University. And if they actually seek the reason it actually become a welcoming note to Lagos State University, we could actually trace it to the grace of our Vice Chancellor for approving the strategic space for us to be able to put the project.
All right. In this case, how is the school also, because you said you had written a letter to the president in that regard, how is the school assisting you to access him? Because if he's coming, let's assume that he has agreed to come launch the program or unveil the portrait or the bust. Of course, he won't just come to unveil that and leave. It will be an opportunity to access the school, support the school, and look at what is going on in the entire school. So how is the school supporting you in the area of accessing the president?
The school has been supporting, but actually due to a lot of things for us to do, it's actually a student union work, so we couldn't actually disturb the school vice chancellor their program. But one thing I believe is that if it will take 10 years for Asiwaju to officiate this project, I'm not going to serve. I'm going to wait for him. If it will take 20 years, I'm going to wait for him and to show the solidarity that indeed we appreciate his doings, and he is the ego of Nigeria politics.
Let's hope it won't take that long. 10 years, having to wait for that long. I hope it won't have to be that long. But then, okay, so with this Tinubu presidency, speak to us about, your expectations. What is most paramount for you, in Nigeria that you want to see addressed?
One thing is, as I am, one thing I am blessed with as an individual is governance. So I believe that if we expect our desired nation to be created, then we all need to be involved. And Asiwaju is actually a father of the youth, and he is indeed our own father. So what I expect is that the youth should actually come together to look in a way to support His Excellency. Because I believe the current situation in the country whereby we actually put a lot of pressure on the government, I believe we should put a lot of pressure on ourselves also. That not what we can get from the government, what also can we give, what can we deliver? So what can we actually do to progress this nation to actually be where it's supposed to be?